Hey, Thomas Tapp here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to do the gate vault. This one was requested a little while back, and this is a great vault to learn, especially like the name says, going over gates, fences, any type of obstacle where you have to climb up and you want to go over it very effortlessly, and you can just hop over, fling your body over, and keep on running. It's also a really cool move visually to see, and it's a very simple move. If you've seen Cops or any of those episodes of guys run away from the cops, you'll see this vault used often, usually with horrible form and technique, but it's used because it's so efficient and you can get over very fast. You just throw your body up and flip over. So in this video I'm going to show you how to do the gate vault with the right technique, and then I'm also going to show you gradual progression steps to develop this move. First, some prerequisites for this move that are going to help a lot is if you have your top out. That's a common move used in parkour, and that's how we climb up on top of the walls. So if we're jumping on a gate, usually they're a little bit higher, so we want to have the strength to take the bar and put it to our waist. Then also performing an acrobatic move like the cartwheel. Cartwheels are great. Also the round off. These are both acrobatic moves that are basic, and they're very similar to the gate vault, and if you get those down, the gate vault's going to be way more natural for you. So if you can get those down beforehand, before trying this move, it's going to help you out a lot. Okay, so I'm going to be breaking down the technique on this area here. Now, I couldn't find a gate that was, perfect size and also good lighting, so I'm using this. This is a great setup for when you're first getting into it and learning the gate vault, and you can also practice the technique almost the exact same. There's just a few differences, and I'll talk about those later. It's basically just with the hand grip. But I'm going to be breaking it down on this obstacle here. I'll show you a quick demonstration, see what it looks like. Through here and through. So you can see where that cartwheel comes into play. So first step of the technique is your run up and jumping to the fence. Now with this, I don't have to jump up to reach the position to flip over the gate. But with most gates, you're going to have to jump up and top out. So what we want to do is run up, and when we jump to the gate, I usually perform a punch jump or a 1-2 punch. So it's like basically one's just right before the other, and then I'm up. And when you jump, you want to jump up and at an angle so where you can throw the bar to your hips, because that's where we're going to be going for. So whenever we're jumping up to do the pull up or the top out, get on top of the gate, we want to jump up, grab the gate, and pull it to our hips as quick as possible. So that's the first step. Have a nice run up and punch, jumping up with the hands up so you can grab the top of the rail. Once you grab the top of the rail, then it's step 2, bringing the bar to your waist as quickly as possible. Because when you move the bar to your waist, this is where you have your stability and your balance point. So once you get to this point, you can see I can balance with my structure of my arms here. I can also balance on my hips. So you can take away a lot of the pressure, and then from here, you can just use gravity and your body to fold over and then go into the gate vault. So you can see how this is very efficient. You don't have to do too much. Just get your waist to the top of the bar, and then let gravity and your momentum take over from there. So now that we know that we need to pull the bar to our waist, let's talk about the hand placement. When we jump up on a top out, our hands are going to be over the top like so. So I'll show here. And we're going to go up, bring the bars to our waist, and this is where we switch hand grips. Because when we fling over, if we're holding on top of the bar like so, we're going to lose grip as we perform the flip over or move our legs over the bar. So what we want to do is flip one of the hands around and underneath here. So this way we have a grip and support the entire time we're doing this move. Now which hand you turn over is similar to a turn vault. So the turn vault is like so, one hand on top, one hand under, and you flip over like that. The same thing, whichever side you like to cartwheel towards or whichever side you like to round off towards, that's the hand you're going to be flipping underneath, so that way you have full support with this grabbing arm here. So to go over the steps again, first, run up. Second, pull the hips to the bar. Third, switch the hand grip so we can perform the fall over or the vault safely. And then once we're in this point, we're going to reach our opposite hand, the one hand that is on top, over, and I go slightly across, basically like I'm reaching for my left leg if I'm going over with my right. So opposite. If you like going the other direction, say you like turn vaulting to your right side, then you're going to take your left arm and reach down toward your right foot. So this way, this sets you up for grabbing. And with this one, in this kind of setup, I will grab for either this rail or I'll grab for the bottom here. If you're on a gate and you have those rungs going up, you're going to reach and grab the gate like so. So that way you can have a good grip as you fall over or as you vault over. And then with the fence, if you have the fence set up, you can just grab, you know, inside the chain links and you'll have support there. So we've reached over across. As we're reaching over across, this is when we need to get our body up and over the rail. So we're leaving our upper body over, we're planting the hand there. We're gonna be lifting, if you see here, my back leg, as I'm putting this arm down, is lifting up as well. So you see there's a balance point here. I'm also getting ready to fling these legs over safely. Now here comes the most important part with this, is choosing how you get your legs over. So once you're in this position, you're committed. The safest way that we can get over this gate vault, and I recommend doing this at first, is just slowly lifting the legs up and over to the side pretty much. So you'll see here, I'll show you from this angle, reaching over, this leg lifting up, and I'm gonna step over. You see, just slowly moving over and stepping out. That is the safest way to do it. Now if we wanna go with more style and more speed, we can go more over the top. And all that involves is the control of the hips. If you want to go more over the side, you're going to take your hips over to the side. If you want to go more over the top, you're going to ramp the legs over the top. So I'll show you a more over the top version. And it's similar to a front handspring. So this is where we need to practice. All this reach over here and the coordination with the legs and the body to flip over. Now, as we're going over, you're in this position here. You want to use this arm for support as much as possible until we're starting to land. And we also want to use this arm as well. Once we touch it down there, we're going to keep the arm on this area until we land. So you'll see here, you can use these arms here, and you will want to use them to really help carry your body over nice and slow and controlled. And it's similar to like doing a human flag here. That kind of strength, you can really control the way you go down and then you land. So if you do this while you're going down, you have good grip here, you have good support on the bottom arm, you can land nice and controlled. Now, once you flip over, you've either gone to the side or you've gone completely over, then you want to make sure to land properly. So, with the landing, we've talked about this many times. You want to land on the balls of the feet, absorbing with the legs, taking the impact. And I like to step out of the gate vault because if I'm going to be running, hitting the gate, I want to run out of it. But some gates might be a little too high. If they're too high, land with both feet and then run off. Now, a lot of people, when they're doing the gate vault, they'll land to the side or even turned back. That's totally okay if that's more comfortable. Just make sure to land with the joints nice and even. So you don't want to land with your knees going one direction or the other. If you're landing off to the side here, like let's say you're going to the side, make sure to stick the landing, go straight with the body here, and then turn and run off. But ultimately, you want to be able to turn and run out of it. And that's just all with the hips there. And that's where practicing the cartwheels, practicing your round offs come in handy. So that's the technique follow those steps, really focus on the hand placement, get comfortable with being on the hips there. And also I wanted to mention with gate vaults and with fence vaults and things like this, you always want to be aware of the tops. Sometimes they'll have prongs, sometimes they'll have things that stick up. I usually try to avoid those. Usually I don't even mess around with fence tops just because of that. But if you're in a situation where you need to get over the fence or something with prongs, just be aware of that. One technique you can use over regular fence tops is propping yourself up a little bit with your upper body here or your arm, so that way you don't have to rest your hips on the fence. You can kind of just have this little bit of elevation here and go over. But that's just something to think about. And if those prongs, if there's like major prongs on there, don't even do the gate vault because it's too risky. Okay, so now let's go into gradual progression steps. Okay, so for the first gradual progression step, we're gonna wanna get our cartwheel and our round off down. Now the technique isn't exactly the same, but it's gonna help a ton with your air awareness and getting the basic technique down. So if you don't know how to do your round off yet, you can click this link over here in the corner and I'll take you to our round off tutorial. You can check that out. Then once you get comfortable with your cartwheel and your round off, then you're gonna find a setup like this, but on ground level. So instead of having this elevated, it's gonna be down on the ground. And it's just great because at that level, if you fall or mess up, the risk drops down by a lot. And you can really take the time without the fear of getting hurt to really get this move down. So I'll just show you real quick what it would look like. Your gradual progression on this area, and we're gonna pretend this is on the ground level. You're gonna first jump up, put the bar, your hips, switch that hand grip over. You've decided you want to go which way or the other. I would recommend training on both sides so you're comfortable with both. And then just slowly reach over. You can even find this balance point here. And notice when I'm going over to the side and I cheat the vault a lot, my whole body is almost on this rail here. So I have a lot of balance here. I can even lay here like this because I like to keep everything balanced and safe. So sometimes I will go pretty much directly over the side. But the first time you do this, go over to the side and really cheat it as much as possible so you can get used to it. So just sling that leg over and then drop over. See, nothing too crazy. Start off with that, and then you're gradually from the ground level going to add more and more speed and also play around with going more and more over the top. So here, turning a little bit more, working on that step out, going more over the top, there, and then to where you can pretty much just go all the way up and over. And it gets a lot of fun once you start getting that speed. And then of course, train both sides. So I went to my left side, now I'm gonna go to my right. Same thing. Also, you can play around with the different landing techniques. So say you just wanna land with both feet, you can do that too. So that's where you're gonna get most of your learning from, is this setup here, pretty much at the ground level. Then once you get more and more comfortable, start to elevate it, and then go for the gate as well, playing around with the different positions with that, and different heights. Now what I want you to do is go out, start training this move, follow those progression steps, remember get your cartwheel and everything, and I want you to get this move down, and then once you get it, film it and share it with us. If you have Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, or YouTube, you want to share it, just at Tapp Brothers or tag us in your video. We'd love to check out you learning this move or getting it down. Alright, so make sure to follow those steps and learn your gate vault. Also share it with us. And then make sure to subscribe to our channel. Click here to subscribe. Also check out that round off tutorial. If you haven't learned your round off, you can do that by clicking the video above. And I'm going to continue on training. Have a good one and train safe.